Hello and welcome to our EU Open 2 for Birmingham major predictions. Did not do predictions for EU 1. I was a little bit behind, so I just did NA for 1. But my goal is to at least do NA and EU predictions for each of these events. So without further ado, just as a reminder, these spreadsheets are made by Cody. I'm going to link his Twitter or his x.com profile. How do you call it now? Either way, I'm going to link it in the YouTube description here. And I would recommend you create your own. And my goal is to kind of towards the end of the year set up competitions where we can kind of compare each other's brackets and maybe have some fun bets or something to make it even more fun to watch and to see how everybody does. So for the first match, we've got Ninjas in Pajamas versus Caliente. Ninjas in Pajamas is Itachi, Nas, and Oski. I'm a big fan of this team. Super fun to watch. I believe when I was watching the Open 1, that they did well, and they also had the most average goals per game, which makes them more fun to watch. And they're playing against Caliente, who has an awesome logo, and that's K-Dop, Sizen, Growly. I think K-Dop kind of goes as like the clear GOAT veteran of this group here. Super talented team, and a good lineup. Definitely competitive, but I think Ninjas in Pajamas is just a better team, and I think this is a 3-1. I think it's very possible that they drop a game, but based on what I saw in the first major, I think Ninja's going to do really well. Itachi to me is like one of my favorite players to watch. Like, he's so creative, and yeah, it's just awesome to watch him. So I'm a big fan of him, Nas and Oski. All right, so then you've got GK, which is Archie, Joyo, and Oli. Super cool team. Obviously fun to watch. Isn't it fun to watch Archie peak, by the way? Like, Joyo always has cool goals. Oli always has cool goals. But Archie, like, when he peaks, it's just, like, more fun. I don't know. And then RRG, which is Goffs, RizX45, and RizFox. I think I've got the names right, obviously. If I say it wrong, my apologies. Correct me in the comments. This one I would predict to be kind of close. But I do think GK is the better team here. But I think it's a closer series. Oops. So not search. Let me go 3-2 for GK. I think their offense is a little bit more built out. I also think Archie and Joyo have been teaming for a long time and have a lot of chemistry on that defense to offense conversions. RRG, very talented team. If they win here, I would not be surprised at all. Vitality, which is, of course, Zen, Exotic, and Monkey Moon, one of the heavily, if not the most favorited team of the year. Now, granted, they did lose to Carmine Court in the last Open, but I think picking anyone but Vitality here, even though JJ Rocks is Stake, Marked by 8, and Reese, or RXII. I'm pretty sure you say his name Reese. I actually follow him on Twitch. If you're somewhat familiar with any of my other content, I've been learning Spanish by playing Fallout 4, and Reese is a Spanish player, and he streams on Twitch, so it's fun to watch him play in Spanish and comment in Spanish and kind of pick up, because I love Rocket League and I love learning Spanish, and I'm trying to learn Spanish. So you combine those two things together, I'm a big fan of his. That being said, I don't think that these guys take a game off of Vitality unless Vitality comes out flat. Wish them the best, but I don't anticipate them putting any games up on Vitality. Redemption, that's going to be Cash, Toxic, and Smokes. English team through and through. And Start Point is Eugen, Mid-10, and Acronic. Acronic's super fun to watch too, right? I mean, these are cool teams. I think Redemption had a very strong Swiss. Right, yeah, look, so they beat TSK. They lost 2-3 to Dignitas. They beat Caliente 3-2, and they beat Forward 3-1, whereas Start Point had not as good of a Swiss. They lost to Ninjas in Pajamas 3-0. They beat Nomster 3-1. They beat JJ Rocks 3-0. I think I like Start Point here. And so I'm gonna put this as a close game, but I think I like Start Point there for that. So that would then leave Ninjas, GK, Vitality, and Start Point. Okay, let's go over to the other group and do that first round. Dignitas, this is the App Jack, or apparently Jack, Jorias, and Stizzy. Super fun team to watch. Most like NA fans like myself are big fans of apparently Jack, even though obviously he's English. But him playing in NA, plus he's just seems like a really awesome teammate and player, and a good role model for other pros that want to make content and stuff like that. I think he's just a good ambassador for RLCS, and I expect that even after he retires in a couple of years or whenever that is, he'll be involved because he's kind of beloved in the community. So they've got that team. Jorius and Abjack are kind of, I would say, established players. Stizzy, to me at least, is a newer player, and I believe a younger player, but he's doing some really cool things on offense. I think when you looked at some of his games in the first Open, he had kind of a glass cannon where he had some awesome setups that I think were kind of unique to his skill set, but he also had some kind of misses where you're kind of scratching your head like, okay, this isn't quite at RLCS top tier level yet. But I think with Abjack and Jorius teaching him, this team is going to become even better in this event. So I expect them to do really well. Nomster is Shark, Reb Mob, and Jelly. I don't know this team super well. I know Reb Mob a little bit from Fear's stream, because I know he was really big on that King of the Hill series that Fear did. And these guys were playing really good, but I don't think they're playing better than Dignitas. I think they come out, probably win the first game, and then Dignitas sweeps them from there. Ascend is Nico, Matt, and Juke. As far as I know, Juke is a very talented up-and-coming player, and I think a lot of French teams are looking at him as a potential, I wouldn't say prodigy, but definitely an up-and-coming player. And then Save the Game is Extra, Astral, and Mitzer, kind of the old guard, literally. Love the name, though. Nico, Matt, Juke, Save the Game, Extra, Astral, Mitzer. I think that's a 3-1, and I would expect Ascend to win here. Carmine. Now, if memory serves me right, this team lost to Forward last year, and it bumped them out. Or they lost to Top Cougars. I forget. But they lost to this team, so it's kind of their kryptonite. But Forward being Edgeby, Mike Boy, and Compact. Carmine, of course, being Vatira, Atto, and Drowley. Based on first results and how they've been playing, I don't think this is a close match. I'm going to put 3-0 here. Gentlemates, that is going to be, where am I losing the, Juicy, Seiko, and Radosin. Super talented team. Obviously, the big question mark was, they, Itachi moved to Ninjas in Pajamas, and he used to be on Gentlemates last year. That roster won, I believe, the first major, or the first LAN, I guess, however you want to call it. And so that team was fun to watch, even as an NA fan, watching G2 lose to them. Like, that team was talented and deserved to win. And I was surprised when they kind of faded towards the end of the year, which is why I'm sure they shook things up. But Juicy and Seiko, extremely good players. Radosin kind of has a chip on his shoulder probably, because after being on Vitality last year, there was question marks around him and Alpha 54 holding back Zen. And I think, obviously, it's more complicated than that, but I think most of us as fans kind of were like, imagine if Zen got higher class or better talented teammates, just how, they're going to win again. Because, in Zen's rookie year, they went and they won all the majors and the Worlds also that year, 2 years ago. So From what I've seen, solid team, probably fighting for the third or fourth spot, depending on how good Ninjas in Pajamas comes out. I think these Carmine, Vitality, Ninjas in Pajamas, and Gentlemates are kind of considered the established top four, with 100% and Dignitas, and even GK kind of knocking at that door, trying to get in. So anyways, long story short, that's Gentlemates. 100% is Luis P, Acro, and Rezi. These guys had awesome matches in the first regional. If you didn't see the first regional, you should watch it just for these 100% matches. It was super fun to watch them. They came out really hot. That being said, I would anticipate that Gentlemates actually has the strategy to take them down, and is going to develop a very specific game plan for them. But I think it's going to be a close match. And if 100% wins, then, more, that's obviously great for them. And they're super fun team to watch. Like, I'm a fan. I just think Gentlemates, with their team setup and their style, is going to kind of have a brick wall defense against 100% that's going to win them the series. So that puts the upper semis as Dignitas, Ascend, Carmine, and Gentlemates. So let's go ahead and go back to the upper semifinals from Group A. And we'll just kind of do the uppers first because I think that's more fun. Ninjas over GK. I expect Ninjas in Pajamas to win here. I like their style against GK, and I think this is actually a 3-0. Not crazy to be a 3-1 or a 3-2, but I think Ninja's style is going to punish GK. Granted, I don't think Ninja is going to score hundreds of points, or I should say like more than 4 goals a game against GK because of how strong the defense is, but I would expect this to be a fun match to watch, but Ninjas are going to come away with it. That leaves Vitality and Start Point. Just as a reminder, Vitality is Zen, Exotic, and Monkey Moon. To me, it's always, Zen's going to be good. Monkey Moon has a very high floor. It's what's Exotic going to do in the tournament. If Exotic plays his S-tier game, his MVP of Worlds last year game, then this team is going to be pretty much impossible to beat, because the floor of Zen and Monkey Moon is already like elite, best in the world. So it's really up to Exotic. Like, if Exotic comes in and gets a couple crazy goals, they're going to win. They're going to beat everybody. I don't think anyone peaks higher than these three when they're peaking. So that being said, I like Vitality over Start Point. I think based on that, Vitality does drop a game to them. I could see them 3-0ing them, but I'm going to give them a game just to be a little extra cautious. Let's go ahead and do the upper bracket here then. Ninjas over Vitality. This one I think will be close, but I like Vitality here over Ninjas. And remind me, have they played? Did they play each other? No, they did not play each other in this Swiss. Now, did they play each other in EU1? Hang with me here just one moment. Vitality versus Ninjas in Pajamas. Did they play here? Stick with me, guys. No, they didn't, because Ninja got knocked out by Carmine. Okay, this will be a fun matchup, but I do think Vitality is a better rounded team to win. Okay, so that is the top 4 there, or the top 2 there. Let's do Dignitas versus Ascend. I'm going to kind of speed through this part because I think me kind of constantly recapping the teams is probably not super helpful. But I have to look at it because I'm not the best at remembering who's on what team and all that. And then as soon as you learn it for the year, then the teams get switched around. So that's just how it goes. So Dignitas, I expect to have a good tournament showing. I like them here. I like them here. Oops, I pressed F3 again. I like them here over Ascend Although I think it's within reason that Ascend could have a nice breakout tournament here and put Dignitas into the lowers. Carmine over Gentlemates. This one, I think, to me, Carmine, I'm not seeing any. They have dropped some games, but I'm not really seeing anything from Carmine that makes me say, yeah, this team's going to lose to anybody but like the top 3 other teams in the world right now. So I think that is that. And I think Carmine wins over there. So that is not the most amazing, unlikely choices. Vitality Ninjas, Carmine, Dignitas. But it does kind of, I think the sleeper picks here are 100%. 100% could make a bracket run here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I think that's really the team to watch. If 100% get hot and have another like open one, then we're going to need to put some respect on them. Let's do the lowers real quick. Caliente RRG. I like RRG over Caliente here. I'm going to give him a 3-1. JJ Rocks Redemption. JJ Rocks is a okay, the Spanish team, and then Redemption is the English team. I think I like the English team here, although I'm not against it being a good series. I'm going to go 3-1, 3-1. Let's just go through all the way and do Group A. Start point, Eugen Mitten Chronic versus RRG. I think I actually like RRG in this matchup, so I'm going to give him a 3-2. Could go either way. GK over Redemption. I think I like the GK team over the Redemption team. That'd be kind of like an English showdown. So I'm going to give him a 3-1, and I'm going to give him a 3-2 here. Okay, that puts GK and RRG there. Let's look at Nomster and save the game. Nomster, save the game. I'm going to go ahead and pick a little bit of an upset here and say Reb Mob and Jelly and Shark are going to go crazy. I think Shark was like super peaking, at least from like some of the games I was watching there. He was playing like out of his mind good. So that's there. 100% I expect to make the lower bracket run. So I'm going to give him this one. I'm going to give him this one over Ascend. And Gentlemates, I'm going to put as 3-0ing. Nomster, I just think the Nomster's just not quite there. They might pick a game off of them. And I'm actually going to pick a reverse here, which is kind of interesting. I'm going to pick 100% now to actually take the upper over Gentlemates. So I'm actually going to pick them to lose at the start, and then later in the tournament, 100% is going to beat them. Is that a hot take? I don't know. You guys tell me. Cool. So how does that make the lowers look? What do you guys think so far of my selections? Let's do uppers first. Vitality over Dignitas. Oops. That was not trolling. That was unintentional. I think Vitality has a lockdown on Dignitas, and I haven't seen too much to suggest otherwise. I think Carmine also has a lockdown on Ninjas in Pajamas, so I think those are going to be pretty clear picks, and it does push Carmine and Vitality to the semifinals and the top 4 teams. Not surprising. Not very revolutionary picks. Let's go GK versus Gentlemates. I like Gentlemates here. I think it's plausible. Actually, I think this would be a good series. I like GK versus Gentlemates, but I do think Gentlemates is a better rounded team all the way around the pitch. Then let's do 100% versus RRG. I like 100% here, and I like them a lot compared to RRG. Did they play? No, they did not play in Swiss this time. Okay. Sometimes I need to cheat and look at the results to inform my opinions. Okay, then we have Dignitas versus Gentlemates. I think I like Dignitas here, but I think it's a very close game. I think Jack, Jorius, and Stizzy have what it takes to be top 4 here, so I'm going to give it over Gentlemates, especially since I think Gentlemates is going to have a harder run based on how I did the bracket. Ninjas, 100%. Sorry, let me go back. Did these guys play in 1? Am I remembering that right? Ninjas and 100%. No, because Ninjas and 100% both went out in the semifinals. And Ninjas never played there. Okay, they were in different brackets. Okay. I am officially losing my mind then. I like... Ooh, this is a tough pick. I think playstyle-wise, if these two teams peak, I think I still like Itachi here. I think this is another banger. 4-3. And if 100% wins it, I'm happy for them, for sure. Which then puts my top 4 as Carmine, Dignitas, Vitality, and Ninjas. So Carmine over Dignitas, I think just big brothers them. I don't think it's that close, 4-1. And I think they would do similarly to Gentlemates, to be honest. If Carmine does not make the grand final, I would be shocked. And that is something I'm kind of interested to see, but in the sake of picking accurate picks, I'm going to have to say Carmine's definitely going to the grand final one way or another. Vitality, I think these guys shut down Ninjas. I think they capitalize on that style, and I think we have a rematch. Carmine versus Vitality, widely considered to be the 2 top teams in the world by a lot of Rocket League or RLCS people. I think it's a solid pick. I don't really even think I did anything that controversial in this tournament besides maybe 100% supporters are going to be upset that I said Gentlemates will beat them the first time, not the second time. So last series, it was 4-0. Carmine beat Vitality, and it wasn't close. What is Vitality going to do different to Carmine? And is Carmine going to be able to adapt? I think this is more frustration. And we do go to Game 7. And I think Carmine wins again. I did not see enough from the last time they played. Now, I know they're going to be watching these replays. They're going to be grinding the replays. The Vitality team. Farah's their coach, right? No, Cassio, sorry. Farah is the coach for Carmine, right? Okay, yeah, my mistake. So Cassio and Hugo are coaches for Vitality. I know they're going to be cooking up a game plan to beat Carmine, but I don't believe that they're going to quite find it yet. I think they're still finding their rhythm, and I think it's going to fall on Exotic's shoulders to peak, or to at least play to the top of his potential. So this is my list. Carmine on top, Vitality, Dignitas, Gentlemates in 3rd and 4th. That might be a bit of a hot pick. I think some people would expect Dignitas to go out earlier. So if Dignitas goes out, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, I'm not shocked by that. And they're replaced by Gentlemates are 100%. GK probably wouldn't see them moving into the top 4, but who knows? We've proven from the first NA video that I do not always know ball. And so Gentlemates, then 100% 5th, 6th, GK and RRG. RRG, honestly, a little bit high there, I think, but just based on how it's going to work, I think it's very plausible based on how my bracket played out that they make it that far. But I could see any of the teams below that beating RRG, minus maybe JJ Rocks or Caliente. I think those guys and Save the Game, I don't really expect those guys to do better than 13th through 16th. Obviously wish them the best and hope they have a good series and performance. But yeah, I think that is my picks. Be curious to see what you think. As a reminder, 1 or 2 days after the major, after this event, I'm going to be filming a reaction video to my picks. and we'll kind of break down that. So make sure you stick around. Leave a comment, please, about what you agree with or disagree with. If you think I'm overrating anybody or underrating somebody, if you are particularly against a team or for a team, also make it known in the comments. I hope you have a wonderful day and strap in for some good Rocket League this weekend. Bye.